welcome you to this broadcast of girls varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We are here at Russia Local Schools where the Fort Loramie Redskins will take on the Russia Raiders. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Garage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, The Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. You're looking live here at the Claire C. DeVoe Gymnasium. My name's Brandon Coverman, and alongside me, Tanya Hammond. And Tanya, taking a look at tonight's game, the Fort Loramie Redskins coming 18-1. They're 11-0, winning already their 6th straight Shelby County Athletic League title. And everyone was thinking maybe this is the year Fort Loramie takes a step back, but they look as good as ever this year.
Thanks, Brandon. They do. The first round of the Shelby County League, when I had the opportunity to watch the Raiders versus the Redskins, it was basically a game of who's going to turn the ball over last. It was a pretty sloppy game. Loramie pulled away towards the end with some big shots and, as always, their aggressive defense. So I think that's what's kept them in the games this year. When I look at their opponent average scoring, I believe it's around maybe between 25 and 30 points per game, where they're averaging close to 50 points a game. Nobody is breaking out, hitting 25, 30 points. They don't have that player this year. As always, Carly Siegel is reloaded with several different scores. I want to believe Avery Brandewee's leading with around 10.5 points per game, and I believe she's around 11. There's one other player, and I can't remember who it is, around 10 points per game, but just steady shots and steady scoring, and their tough defense as always.
And the Russia Raiders, on the other hand, 17-4, trying to pull an upset here on senior night.
The Raiders have, as everyone in the area knows, has suffered some difficulties with injuries. And the first round of the play, they did have most of their players. So it'll be interesting to see if Paul Bremmergen's squad can turn up the heat, keep Loramie's offense out of the middle, and get a high hand out on the perimeter.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here at NKTelco Sports is with the Emerson Climate Technology starting lineups. First for the Fort Loramie Redskins, number 11, senior Ava Turner. Number 21, sophomore Victoria Mesher. Number 22, junior Skylar Albers. Number 30, junior Jaden Rose. And rounding out the lineup, sophomore, number 40, Avery Brandaway. The Fort Loramie head coach, longtime head coach, dean of Shelby County basketball. The Fort Loramie Redskins coach, Carla Siegel, of course, over 500 wins, 3 state championships, under her belt at the helm of her alma mater. Let's Raiders introduce their seniors first. Grace Holscher. Maya Monin. Simone Putoff. Jenna York.
For your starting seniors.
And the Emerson Climate Technology starting lamps. 5'9" senior CC Borchers.
A 5'10" senior, number 10, Kelby Dosek.
10, Kelby Dosek.
A 6'1" senior, number
13, Kate Sherman.
A 5'6" senior,
Number 14, Reese Guba.
And rounding out your starters, a 5'5" junior, number 20.
5'5" junior, Jayla Shappy rounding out the lineup. The Raiders are coached by a longtime head coach, Paul Bremingen, and they're assisted by Rachel Borchers, Tracy Schultzer, and Bruce Borchers as well. Now again, should be a great game here tonight as we take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. First, taking a look for the Fort Loramie Redskins and taking a look at their keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Let's take a look at what Fort Loramie's keys are here tonight.
Thanks, Brandon. Coach Siegel is saying they need to win the rebounding game. When you're going up against 6'1" senior Kate Sherman, they absolutely need to keep her off the board. In addition to, they need to execute an offense as always. They keep running until they get the perfect shot. And also they need to contain the Raiders guard play. With Reese Gubo and CC Borchers, they need to maintain them outside of the perimeter and have a high hand.
There's a jump ball there right away, and taking a look at our keys to the game for the Russia Raiders.
Coach Bremingen's keys are saying the girls need to cut off the middle penetration on defense and guard their three-point shooters. And also he's saying they need to win the rebounding game and maintain the Redskins to only one shot. In addition, they need to establish an inside game on offense and get some scoring out of Kelby Dosek, Ronnie Poling, and Kate Sherman.
And our keys to the game sponsored by Keyhole Pizza, and there's looked like it could have been a push-off against Jaden Rose.
The Raider fans didn't like that one, Brandon.
Thought she extended that front arm out. It looked about textbook, but the official did not agree. It's going to be the first foul on Jayla Shappy, first Raider foul. As Jaden Rose with the basketball, gets it out to Skylar Albers. Albers right wing cans a three from the right wing and puts the Redskins up ahead. 3-0 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Shappy on the right side, gets it out to Reese Gubo. Goes out to the left side to CC Borchers. Borchers gets it out to Shappy. Shappy going to try to come off a screen and fires and hits one from three. Jayla Shappy with the big response there. Mesher up ahead quickly, blocked by Sherman. Mesher up ahead again, and Kelby Dosek clears the boards for the Raiders.
Jayla Shappy's come in on a defense assignment, trying to help replace what Simone Putoff did. And any baskets that the Raiders can get from her is just a plus.
Kate Sherman with the bucket there, the 6'1" senior in the box score. Redskins up ahead quickly at lightning pace. Albers high arcing three, and Skylar Albers 2 threes early. 6-5 Fort Loramie on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Redskins trap at the half court, and they tip it out of bounds. Be Raider basketball right in front of the Loramie bench.
A lot of times when they're trapping on the sideline, a lot of people tend to go to throw the ball back from where it just came from. If CC Borchers looked towards the basket, Kelby Dosek was wide open in that situation.
Borchers brings it up across the timeline. 6'5 Redskins, 6:15 to go in the first quarter. Gubo from the right side gets a shot fake. She goes on the inside, splits
nice
the defense
pass
down to Sherman, and Sherman will shoot two. Nice little thread pass there by Reese Gubo as well to Sherman.
She's been working on that lately. You've seen that in different games, especially against Versailles last Saturday. Reese Gubo and CC Borchers had a nice little couple down passes to Kelby and Kate.
And we've seen kind of Kate Sherman step up for the Raiders here lately with those injuries that we discussed a little bit in the pregame that's well known. Sherman's been a 4-year player, but she's really come through these last few games.
She's come into her game a lot, and one thing I believe she's worked on very hard is when she turns with the ball, she's maintaining the ball above her head, so it doesn't give your defender time to reach low into your midsection and get a jump ball situation or a steal.
Pressure on the inside, shot no good. Great defense by Kate Sherman. CC Borchers gives it up ahead to Reese Gubo. 5:50 to go here in the first quarter. It's a 7-6 Raider lead on the First National Bank first scoreboard. Shappy with the basketball, gives it back up over to Reese Gubo. Gubo back out front, gives it over to Dosek on the wing. Dosek gets it over to Gubo. Gubo wide open, fires a three, rattles out. Mesher clears the boards. Mesher initiating up ahead to a wide open Skylar Albers, who gets a friendly tip of the rim there and scores. Albers already with 8 points, all the Loramie offense, and there's a reach foul on the Redskins. And again, it's not, this Redskin team obviously very talented, being 18-1. They aren't picking you up full court like they usually do. They're picking you up a little later.
Right.
With their
and
pressure.
They don't do the full court press near as much as some past Carla Siegel teams. One thing that this team does very well, and we saw it in their junior high years, and if you watch the JV game, you saw the same thing. They're pushing the ball up the floor as quick as possible, and they just play as hard as they can. And if they don't, she's got somebody else to replace them.
Exactly.
You better get up the floor.
Again, a lot of people thought this Loramie team was going to take a step back, and no, they haven't.
They weren't going to have it. They don't play that way.
Exactly. Borchers wide open for three, blocked by Albers. Sherman on the rebound just throws up a shot. Rebound down over to Avery Brandaway. Up ahead, Albers on that outlet, leaking ahead of that Raider defense.
What Kate Sherman did well that last possession was she went to the basket. She didn't get the call that she wanted. However, with as aggressive as Fort Loramie is on defense, you've got to go to the basket and you've got to go hard. And if you go lightly, it's going to get stolen.
This Loramie team only lost this year is to Division III Ottawa Glandorf, who's one of the top teams in Division III. And we know Carla Siegel has beefed up her schedule, obviously playing the tough Shelby County Athletic League. You play schools from the MAC, but she's gone in, dipped in and played schools like Ottawa Glandorf, Liberty Benton. Teams playing in the Classic in the country to really have her girls ready to play high competitive basketball. It's going to be coming up here with the tournament draw.
They're peaking at the right time, and the tournament traditionally coming out of Sydney, you're going to get a couple really good teams, and there's some teams that cannot. There's no team coming out of Sydney's bracket that can't be beat. Yeah. Every one of them, this Fort Loramie team can be beat. You get a hot Botkins, or you get a hot Jackson Center, you never know what's going to happen.
8-7, Redskins ahead of the Raiders. Ava Turner going to walk the ball up the floor. They're just going to bring a little run and jump pressure of their own, which the Redskins aren't used to seeing. Sherman gets a steal and a timeout.
And that their first meeting, that was effective as well. When they were pressuring on the corners and having Kate Sherman up top, she's awful large when she comes in with her hands up. That's hard to pass over. And they were effective with it at Loramie. And they got some turnovers. If you get them in a running game, they're going to beat you. If you can maintain it and get them to slow down a little bit and try to get a couple steals and hit some shots, you got a shot to win.
I'd like to remind you that all timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. Our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, and Securcom and the St. Henry Bank. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keo Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Starting lineups brought to you by Emerson Copeland. Marushi Live View sponsor is the Jewelry Barn. And our player of the game, which Tanya and I will bring you at the end of the game, is brought to you by NKTelco. So,
kind of wish a quick birthday. Sorry.
No, you're
quick
good.
Birthday to Coach Cardonier.
Hey, yeah. Coach Spencer Cardonier's 46th birthday today. I heard that earlier in Albers. Caught like a deer in headlights right there, to say the least. And just stopped. But I'm sure he's hoping for a birthday wish for the Raiders to beat the Redskins. I'm sure he's hoping for.
Right.
As his team travels to Botkins, they're tied. The Shelby County Athletic League for the lead, and that's a game you can catch on NKTelco Sports tomorrow night.
Right.
Dave Homesteader will be on the call for that game.
That should be a good one.
Should be a very good one. As we're here ahead, Borchers with the basketball in the corner to Shappy. Shappy goes back to Gubo. Gubo wide open, pulls the trigger from the right wing, and like she's done so many times in this gym, hits a three-pointer from the right wing.
My husband and I had a conversation after the Versailles game on Saturday, and the comment was Reese Gubo's been the most consistent Raider basketball player this year, and that she has. You might get 9, 10 points out of her, 8 points, but she is very, very consistent.
Rebound goes down the Raiders. Ronnie pulling back in for the Raiders. Gubo trying to initiate the offense and just threw it a little too far. You could tell when that pass went right off her hands that it probably wasn't going to work out.
That's not an easy pass for Ronnie Pulling to catch when you have to look over your shoulder and try to catch it. You know, as a baseball player, that's a baseball catch. That's a second baseman catch. That's a tough catch to make. Hence the turnover and going back towards the Redskins' way.
Kelby Dosek, Addison Shappy in the lineup for the Raiders. In as well for Loramie's Carissa Meyer and Summer Hoying.
Addison Shappy's done a nice job this year, stepping up, starting on the JV team, and with injuries, was asked to come up and play varsity. And she's been solid, not making a lot of mistakes and holding her own.
Summer Hoying gets the basketball back out to Victoria Mesher. 3:04 to go in the first quarter. Mesher picks up the basketball. Mesher trying to get rid of it. Boy, there's no league title on the line, but it's Rushi Loramie, and that's all you have to say about it. It's physical, fierce, and good basketball as Carissa Meyer bangs home a three from the right wing and gets Loramie the lead back.
One thing I think Loramie has tried to figure out all year is who is their point guard. I think that's why the running is and getting up the floor quickly, because they don't have somebody's pressuring them all up over the floor, which Ottawa Glandorf may have done. They don't have a point guard to be able to bring. They can all dribble some, but there's not a true point guard in that lineup.
Yeah, and that's something that they're trying to figure out, is that jump ball there. Gives the ball to the Raiders. Sherman going to come back in.
Sherman has to see minimal bench time.
Yeah, it's going to be
30 seconds. You need a drink, you need to sit, and you're back in the game.
And you look at the tournament draw, too, especially for the Raiders. They're going to have probably another competitive game for 3 weeks.
Right.
So they're going to take advantage of this game here tonight as Dosek blocked on the inside by
The real benefit
Brandaway.
is my daughter's telling me, I might get in the game, Mom. Which is exciting. We got photo opportunities.
Exactly.
But it doesn't help when you get down to potentially the finals playing Miss Sinawa Valley, who the Raiders scrimmaged earlier in the year and gave them a nice, they're having a fantastic season. And that will be a competitive game for sure.
Sherman trying to rip through on the inside. It's going to be a jump ball. But like I said, there's no league title on the line, but it feels like there is. The stands are packed.
It is fun.
And
this
it's
is
done,
a great
yeah.
atmosphere. And this is what they're going to see come, February 25th down at Troy for a district final title. In addition to going down to the SAC down in Vandalia. Is that where the regional's at?
And Loramie gets away with the carry there. Let's see if they can capitalize off the missed call. It'll stay Loramie basketball. As coming back in for the Redskins, Skylar Albers and Ava Turner.
One of the early things that the Raiders were able to do, I don't want to dwell on the past, but they were able to go 8, 9, 10 deep, like a Fort Loramie team can. When, last year, 2 years ago, Carter's subbing 5 at a time.
Yeah.
They were able to do 2, 3 at a time, no problem. The Raiders don't have that anymore.
Rose with the basketball out front, 1:50 to go, 11-10, Fort Loramie in the first quarter. Albers trying to hit another three, just rims out. Over the basketball in the corner, it's going to stay Loramie basketball. Raiders got to find a way to cover Skylar Albers. She's been deadly from the outside. It looked really good from where we were sitting at. Looked like it was going to go home.
She's got 8 points right now, 8 of their 11.
Albers with the basketball, right side, going against Shappy. Shappy out to Jaden Rose. Rose gets it out to Albers. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. They get Hoying on a screen wide open, and it falls well short. And Sherman grabbed it. Oh, I think they're going to say she hit the out-of-bounds line. They ran a nice down screen, little elevator screen for Hoying to get her open.
If you watch offenses, you see that more and more. That's starting to get more popular in this area is that type of screen. We're not seeing the cross the lanes screen like we used to see more. We're seeing all the down, they're the up screens, and it's making basketball really, really exciting.
Loramie with that late run and jump pressure gets a turnover out of it. Ava Turner up ahead. Turner up ahead to Albers. And she somehow gets that to fall. Man, it is Skylar Albert's world right now. We're just living in it. Raiders bring the pressure. Borchers picked it up in about the worst place possible. Shappy pressure. A couple Redskins getting after her, and Paul Bremichin going to call a precision strip timeout. It's 13-10 Fort Loramie, 59 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Coming out of the precision strip timeout, we'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of girls high school basketball at NKTelco Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503. Catch replays of this game Thursday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. and Sunday, February 26th at 7 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and NKTelco.com/sports. So out of the precision strip timeout, it's a 13-10 Loramie lead, and Loramie kind of sending some delayed pressure here to the Raiders, and Coach Birmingham wants to talk about it.
Right, now they're going, looks like, to a 1-2-2 and probably trapping in your corners when they're bringing the ball down the floor. Right now they're just backing up a little bit.
They're going to try to get it to
Unforced turnovers have got to go away for the Raiders right now. But you know what's really exciting about this game, Brandon? You know, said it's Loramie. It's an exciting game. You look at the stands, and this looks like a boys' basketball game. To the right, you've got the student section of the high school. To the left, you've got the elementary section, and they're all excited for this game. I can't see what Loramie has, unfortunately, to know what their sections are doing, but it's just, it gives the girls a great atmosphere.
Borchers three rattles in and out. Sherman goes up, and it didn't fall in, but Sherman will shoot two. And Kate Sherman at the line, mentioned a 4-year player on varsity. She's the all-time kills leader in Raiders girls volleyball history.
Yeah, these seniors have put a lot of time, both squads, into their programs, and then it's just a great thing to see these young girls and young boys looking up to these kids so they can follow in their footsteps, because there's nothing better than putting on your school's colors and going to battle for them.
This Raiders senior class, 63-33 over their 4 years, and like I said, the Raiders aren't done yet as Sherman hits both from the line, and she's got 6. Half the Raider offense coming through Kate Sherman so far, but Skylar Albert's been the story this quarter for Fort Loramie with 10 points. The aforementioned Alberts with the basketball gets it tipped out of bounds, and even if you don't get a turnover, those deflections are always nice too.
Right in that situation right there, the Raider guards are long in their arms, so they may not be 6 foot, but they take up so much space it's hard to see, and we saw that right there, and Reese Gubo did a nice job with the deflection.
Jaden Rose with the basketball outside, trying to get on the inside. Trying to get it out to Turner, out to Albers. Shot's no good. Rebound on the inside. There's a foul against the Raiders.
I'm a little confused how that's a foul when it looked like both Loramie players knocked each other over. I'm a little curious who they're going to call it on. I think they're discussing it.
I think they're going to call it on Rushi, the way it's looking. They're going to call it against CC Borchers. That's going to be the 4th Raider team foul. 1.8 seconds to go. Coming in the lineup for Fort Loramie is Summer Hoying. And it's a 2nd team foul against the Raiders. They get it into Albers at the horn, and it's no good. 13-12, the Fort Loramie Redskins lead the Rushi Raiders. Girls Shelby County action. We'll be back after this break on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, it is 13-12. The Fort Loramie Redskins lead the Russia Raiders on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard, and a very highly competitive first quarter between these two teams as the Raiders will start with the basketball. And that first quarter, Tanya, very high energy.
The Raiders turned up their defense the end of that quarter and edged just a little closer. They're making the Loramie Redskins a little flustered, and that's what we see on both ends of the court. Again, when we talked about the first time these two teams met, it's kind of a turnover battle.
They're going to call a foul away from the ball. Borchers was trying to break loose there. They're going to call a foul. They were trying to bump the screener, bump the cutter, so to speak, and they get called for a foul.
So many times you get held, and we see it a lot on both ends of the court. The Raiders and the Redskins are both, they're scrappy. This game means a lot to them. It's about pride.
And sometimes you see that lost in high school basketball, even a game that doesn't mean anything for league standings. Pulling, wide open on the inside, missed the wide open layup. Sherman goes up and is fouled. Boy.
Kate Sherman's given what she gets.
Yeah.
That was a great pass.
And it's a high motor Kate Sherman's been playing with tonight.
Right. That's one thing Pulling needs to continue to work on is finishing around the basket.
And Sherman at the line, cans the first one. She has 7 tonight. Coming in for the Fort Loramie Redskins again is Carissa Meyer. The 3 seniors on this team, Ava Turner, Alexis Coverman, and Olivia Mesher. As Sherman gives the Raiders the lead. Sherman's got 8, a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. And the Redskins pick up basketball up right before the timeline. Mesher trying to get it up ahead to Turner. And Ava Turner misses the shot from the inside. And the Raiders trying to push it up ahead. It is a crazy pack up ahead of Shappy with the basketball. Shappy gives it back up ahead to Gubo. Gubo trying to go to the left side to CC Borchers. Borchers gives it back to Sherman.
Great
on a high-low action
great
to
seal.
Pulling.
Great seal, great pass.
And Coach Carla Siegel wants a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. We'd like to remind you that all timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. And our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Fuelsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and the St. Henry Bank. The keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Emerson Copeland. Our Russia Live View sponsors, the Jewelry Barn. And as always, our player of the game, which Tanya and I will name to you at the end of the game, is brought to you by NKTelco. Coach Carla Siegel really getting into her girls this time out.
This is a very important game for them. Their league is not on the line, but you're going into a tournament run. This is the last game, and you've got to get sharper. Things got to be more crisp. And one thing that both of these schools got to look forward to is this week the junior high girls finished the tournament. Fort Loramie winning the 8th grade portion of the tournament, and the Raiders winning the 7th grade portion of the tournament, going undefeated for the entire year. So these two schools have a lot to look forward to in girls basketball.
Both these teams, and Loramie's got 2 more games to play. Marion Local and Liberty Benton Saturday, and Marion Local next Tuesday before they play Fairlawn on February 11th. Yeah, a good end as Ava Turner, the senior, gets in the box score for Fort Loramie. 16-15, Raiders ahead of the Redskins. CC Borchers with the basketball, gives it out to Kate Sherman, left side to Jayla Shappy. Shappy gets it over to Gubo off a screen. Gubo gets it out to CC Borchers. Back out to Pulling. Pulling to try to get it on a high-low action. We'll give it out to Gubo on the Raider logo. 6:09 to go here in the first half. Brandon Coburn and Tanya Hammonds bringing you the action here. Sherman on the inside, couldn't finish. The Raiders have struggled to finish around the rim, like you mentioned earlier.
It wasn't
Tanya.
a great pass. That ball took her momentum, took her underneath behind the backboard, which did not give her a good angle to the basket. But one thing that's different between these two squads, we talked about up screens and down screens. Fort Loramie wants to shoot the ball underneath the basket. The Raiders have some really nice three-point shooters that can then penetrate. So a lot of theirs are down screens. So you see the difference in the offenses.
There's a jump ball right there. Arrow favors the Redskins. And both these coaches, I don't think there's too many games I've ever announced where I said both coaches have combined for over 1,000 wins.
That's crazy. That's a lot of basketball.
Yeah, over 1,000 wins.
There's a lot of knowledge.
Yeah,
a lot of wisdom
no kidding.
standing within about 50 feet right there.
Paul Bremerton has the most wins among boys coaches in Shelby County history as Gubo gets a steal. Redskins immediately trapping and gets bailed out with the foul. That's much needed there for the Raiders.
That's her second.
And Carla Siegel, obviously the most girls wins all time, along with her 3 state championships in 2013, 15 to 2021. That's Addison Shappy and Kelby Dosek back in for the Raiders. In for Fort Loramie is Alex Rose, a junior. And again, you talked about it, the depth that Fort Loramie's had. Loramie digging into it right now with a little bit of foul trouble popping up here. And like you said, if someone's not playing clean, someone's there to take your spot. If you're
And
Fort
she's
Loramie.
not afraid to make an example of you.
Gubo, left wing, rattles out.
Nice
There's
box
a
out.
Foul on the Raiders. It's going to be against Gubo. Again, that's the thing. You try to get aggressive. You try to trap right after the shot is missed, and you get a little too aggressive and you foul there.
It tends to go against your favor more than not.
These Raiders only playing 7 deep. Again, the injuries to Simone put off as Addison Shappy gets the steal. Shappy throws the shot up, no good. And it's going to be Loramie basketball, but Simone put off out for the season. Grace Holzer tore her ACL, foot injury for Maya Mon, and Carly Scott out for the season. This Raiders team has been tested and been through a lot of adversity.
It's been tough, and it's really been tough on these girls. You talk to them in the hallway, wanting to know how they're feeling, how they're doing. All they want to do is be on the court. It's tough night after night, especially in January when it's cold to go out in the cold and go to practice. That's tough, and you got homework to do. But that's all these kids want to do, and unfortunately, they've been plagued with injuries.
16-15. The Raiders have 2 losses, Shelby County Athletic League, 1 to Fort Loramie, 1 to Jackson Center. Borchers with the basketball in the corner is fouled by Ava Turner. That'll put the Raiders in the bonus.
Haven't seen a lot of backdoors occurring. Fort Loramie overplays you so much. In that situation there, it would have been nice to see, a step and turn towards the baseline and go backdoor. But that comes with experience. You just keep playing and you keep learning.
CC Borchers at the line for the 1 in bonus for the Raiders. 16-15. As Borchers cans the first free throw. She's the lead Raiders scorer. Not scored until that point as Kate Sherman going to come in. But the Raiders only swinging in 7 in so far. Jayla Shappy and Addison Shappy started this season playing JV, starting JV, being those 2 featured players. And now they're playing varsity minutes.
They've done a fantastic job of stepping up because that is difficult. The game is so much faster. And trying to adapt to a different kind of game and different players is tough. And those 2 have done a really good job. The Raiders talk about having a plague season, but they still only have 5 losses.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic season.
18-15. Raiders ahead after the 2 made free throws by Borchers. Left side to Avery Brandaway. Back over to Alex Rose. Rose trying to go to the rack and fouled.
That's what we're seeing there. They're executing. They're running their offense. Again, with no true point guard. We're not seeing any dribble penetration until the ball gets about around the foul line right now. And then they're trying to take 1-2 step and go.
Rose cans the first free throw as Albers will return. Skylar Albers had 10 in that first quarter. It's 18-16 Raiders with 3:53 to go until the halftime break. Rose at the line, trying to can 2 free throws, and Alex Rose cans both.
And Skylar Avers, being 5'10", on most squads is underneath on the block. But she gives them a great look on the wing and being able to penetrate and shoot. So now you'll have someone like Kate Sherman Gardner because of her height, when truly she should be being guarded by a guard that might be a little smaller.
Shappy with the basketball, right side, gives it back up over to Jayla Shappy. Left side to Cece Borchers, over to Pulling on the inside. And they're going to say she traveled. She dragged that pivot foot right there, and that's going to take away a basket for the Raiders. And Pulling's continued to struggle there. And I believe she did drag that pivot foot a little bit there.
Maybe.
And close call right there. And
no, she finished well.
Yeah.
That's a positive thing to look at out of that possession.
Mesher up ahead. Rose left wing. Shot no good. Rebound on the weak side in for Summer Hoying.
The Raiders have got to get better on the rebounds. They cannot be giving the Redskins second and third shots.
Redskins reclaim the lead after the Raiders held it for a few minutes. Addison Shappy on top of the key, gets it back over to Cece Borchers. Back to Kate Sherman. Sherman looking for the high-low, gets it to Shappy on the left side. They run Addison Shappy off it. She shot fakes on the 3, trying to get on the inside. Maybe took an extra step. Pulling, weak side, rebound, cleans it up. It'll go to the line and shoot 2.
One thing that the Redskins do very well is they make it difficult for you to make that quick step to get around them. And Shappy struggled a little bit there getting around. She got a shot off, which was fantastic for Pulling to rebound and get fouled and go to the line.
Pulling with 2 free tosses. Cannot connect on the first as Carissa Meyer returns for Loramie. Reese Gubo back in for the Raiders. Turner and Borchers head in for Loramie and Rushi respectively as Kelpie Dosek comes to the scores table and just come in for Pulling. Pulling looking to nod this game up with 2:57 to go here till halftime. And it rims out. Sherman the rebound. Sherman trying to go up. She had Gubo wide open. Pulling goes up and will return to the line again. And the Raiders getting second and third chances now.
Again, the Redskins got to do the same thing. They got to keep them off the boards. And it goes back to the basics. It goes back to boxing out. And that's one thing in high school basketball in general, girls and boys, we tend not to see. They don't use what God gave them to keep them off the boards.
Pulling.
A quote from Coach Don Cardonier. Use what God gave you. Use your rear end. One thing you saw there, too, with Kate Sherman is when we've seen the second half of the season, she's really extended her arms and gone up and gone for the ball. Not let it come down to her. She's gone up and gotten the ball. And it's a huge difference here, and that's where her scoring is coming from.
We're knotted up at 19 now on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Raiders going to fly a full court pressure with really their smaller lineup outside of Sherman. Their smallest lineup they could probably put out there. Mesher with the basketball. Gets it out over to Jaden Rose. And Rose got away probably with an extension of the forearm there.
That's what happened early in the game where Jayla Shappy picked up her first foul. And it's happening again.
Goes back over to the left side, goes over to Avery Brandaway. Brandaway back over to Rose, 2:22 till halftime, knotted up at 19. Going with the basketball, gives it back out to Jaden Rose. Rose back up over to Brandaway. Loramie being patient this possession. Knotted up here, gets it back up over to Jaden Rose.
Maybe we'll see a little trap come here. Maybe they'll get a little anxious and do some trapping.
Rose gets it back out to Meyer.
They're just playing good, solid defense right now, and Redskins are just executing. They're just being patient.
Back out to Meyer. Meyer goes back out to Brandaway. Hoying, foul line extended, back to Mesher. Mesher going to try to take Gubo to the rack. Shot no good. Meyer, weak side rebound, blocked by Sherman, put up by Mesher. Meyer gets it, and she's fouled. And she'll shoot 2. Carissa Meyer will go to the line and shoot 2 free throws. With a 15 foul against the Raiders.
Let's face it, Brandon, basketball's hard. It's
is.
a hard, aggressive sport. And you can see on all of these kids' faces the determination and the hard work they're putting into this game. And everybody, no matter who wins this game, everybody's going to appreciate the hard work that came out of it because it's just a fun game to watch.
Carissa Meyer hits the first free throw, and she misses the second one as Sherman gets the rebound there. Borchers trying to get up ahead of the pack. Stops in the lane. Gubo in the corner. Fires a three. No good. Sherman skies in for the weak side rebound. Shot is no good. Boy, Kate Sherman's had a heck of an effort here tonight.
She has.
Going to the basket, though, Avery Brandaway blows right by her and scores.
The last possession by the Raiders, I thought we were going to see that out of CeCe Borchers, and she let up on it. And normally you don't see that out of her. She goes gangbusters to the hole. And is it the Redskins aren't letting her do that, or is she stopping short?
Meyer steals up ahead and scores. Loramie's got their largest lead of 5. Carissa Meyer with 6 now. Man, it is intense in here, I'll tell you that much. Gubo to the hole, cannot miss. The Raiders have missed so many bunnies so far this game. Up ahead, and they're gonna call a charge there as Borchers takes it.
So I saw something really neat in that last possession down on the Raiders end. And the superintendent standing down in the left-hand corner, we missed a shot and saw him,
yeah.
You know, when you see the administrators, the parents, it means a lot. It's good competition.
Gubo gonna walk it up slowly across the timeline. I think the Raiders might invest in just one shot here.
I would.
And they're going to get it on the inside, right to where Loramie's trapping.
But if you get a good shot, you got to put it up. If you have an opportunity to shoot against Fort Loramie, shoot it before you turn it over.
Sherman on the inside, and
there's
shots blocked.
There's
and Dosek's going to turn it over. Carlos Siegel says, slow down. We want one shot.
Right. Absolutely.
5-point lead for Loramie. Rose gets it stolen. Shappy's got 2 seconds to make something happen at the horn. Shots up and good. She'll have a chance to cut the deficit to 2 before the halftime break. She's got a foul shot. Addison Shappy making a nice play.
That was a fantastic steal, and she focused and went to the rack.
And a great play by the sophomore who's been thrusted into this role to play here for the high school team and for the varsity team, I should say. And man, the Raider crowd was alive on that. Shappy, high arcing free throw, rattles out, but the Raiders get a huge swing right before half.
Great half of basketball.
It is a 24-21 Fort Loramie lead heading into the halftime break. We'll step aside, come back with the second half of action. You're next on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Back here at NKTelco Sports, it's halftime here at the Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium. Our score, Fort Loramie 24, Russia 21. And taking a look at some of the individual scoring that first half. First for Fort Loramie, they had 5 from Carissa Meyer, 10 from Skylar Albers, all in that first quarter, 2 from Avery Brandaway, 2 from Summer Hoying, and 2 from Ava Turner. For the Raiders, they had 8 from Kate Sherman, 3 from Reese Gubo, 3 from Jayla Shappy, 2 from Addison Shappy, 3 from Ronnie Poling, and 2 from CC Borchers. After one quarter of play, it was 13-12 Fort Loramie. And at halftime, the Redskins led the Raiders 24-21. And like we said, Tanya, this game seemed like it would be, I don't know, just another game. There's not a league title on the line, but then we kind of scrapped it after a minute and said, this is Russia Loramie.
Right. It's get after it. Nobody wants to go home a loser after this game. And, the Raiders, like you said, the Redskins have 2 games left, and they have 2 really big games left. But the Raiders, this is their final regular season game, and they have a long break. And then the first 2 teams they could potentially see in the tournament, records are less than stellar. So, they're trying to get tournament ready here and get this to carry on for a couple weeks. So, if you get to the Miss Cinewall, potentially, but they got to face Botkins. And Botkins is a little scary. I'm not going to lie. When the Trojans came here to play, they got after it. It was a close game. So that'll be exciting as well. But who knows what the next couple weeks bring. There's a lot of nostalgia in this being the final game at Claire C for the Lady Raiders, and see what the future holds.
Again, this senior class 63-33 in their 96 games that they've been a part of from their start of their freshman year, and they've been to 2 district finals back-to-back years.
I've seen these girls play a lot of games from junior high. I was on this coaching staff when they were in the 7th grade, and they're a great group of kids that work hard and are proud of what they do. So you want to see nothing but the best for them. And these Redskin kids as well, I've seen a lot of them play, having a younger daughter and watching them in junior high. So they're just a bunch of good kids playing hard-fought basketball right now.
Reese Gubo hits a shot from the baseline, cuts the Loramie lead to 1 to start the second half. Turner, cross-court pass over to Jaden Rose, back out to Mesher.
Mesher seems to get the duty as the point guard, and I'm not sure that's her given talent. And like we said, they're trying to figure out their identity of a point guard when you start getting a little deeper in the tournament, when you get a full court press, maybe from a Tri-Village, because they get after it as well.
Again, Tri-Village, probably most people have been pegging as the favorite, but, Loramie not going away this year with that 18-1 record. Again, Minster gave Tri-Village a game not too long ago, an 8-point game with a fully healthy Tri-Village squad, as they've been banged up some this year as well.
They got some big scoring from their bench in that game. And Casey Albers, I believe, hit a couple threes and sparked the Wildcats. So the Patriots are a little scary, not going to lie.
We got a foul on the Raiders.
Not
That's
sure
going to go against Jayla Shappy. Goes away from the ball. First Raider team foul, 6:41 to go here in the third. It's a 1-point Redskin lead as Addison Shappy returns.
Maybe he just needed to test his whistle. He was getting bored. He did a little change things up a little bit.
Long possession here for the Redskins. Rose enters the ball in. Brandaway blocked. Ball deflected on the inside. And that play it was help made there by Kate Sherman. Gubo up ahead, splits it. Defense up ahead to CC Borchers. Her three's long. Weak side rebound, Shappy. Gets it up to Dosek. Dosek being harassed, and she gets a foul. Redskins playing very aggressive in the half court. Like we said, it's not that traditional Carla Siegel full court pressure, but it's still very aggressive in your face in the half court. They're not getting the steals
and the layups that they traditionally do. Their game is, I'm trying to tie you up and maybe make you throw the ball away, and then we're going to push the ball up the floor and try to score before you get up the floor. The Raiders got to get some production out of CC Borchers at this point. To be successful, 2 points isn't going to get it done. They need to see around 8, 9, 10 points from her, and you tend to see that in the second half. She starts to spark, and maybe who's defending her gets a little tired and lets her loose a little bit.
That's quick foul there called on Jaden Rose.
Maybe the crowd was in his ear a little bit over there.
And I like that call. Jaden Rose right there clapped right after that. Said, it's okay. It's okay. We'll wait to get the sub in. And I kind of like that energy from Jaden Rose. She's like, all right, that's a foul on me, know, but hey, we're going to go, we're going to play. And which is exactly what you have to do. And I've coached and officiated many sports, and that's what you have to do sometimes. Turner fouled in transition, a bad foul by the Raiders. And Turner will shoot 2.
Just bailed her out there. I don't think that shot was going in.
So Ava Turner at the line, one of 3 seniors on this roster. Turner connects on the first one. That foul, let's see who was against.
I believe it was against CC Borchers, which became her second.
Yeah. Turner at the line, connects on both free throws. Redskin lead out to 5 as Ronnie Poling comes in for the Raiders.
Ronnie brings a little bit quicker defense and maybe a quicker shot than Dosek does. So I like to see her and Sherman need to be in there the majority of the time at this point, in my opinion.
Shappy out front. Shappy going to give it out to Gubo. Gubo. Oh, man, they didn't throw that ball. I'm surprised they didn't throw it to Shappy over the top there. They give it out to Gubo. Gubo for 3 in the tie. Too much. Gubo gets her own rebound, though. Shot too high off the mark. Gubo goes up again and is blocked. Redskins up and racing. They get it up to Albers in transition, and Albers connects.
You don't have to be a great shooter if you can beat everybody up the floor.
Exactly. And Albers has a dozen now. And Borchers blocked on the inside. That's one thing the Redskins have done that the Raiders haven't. Finished around the rim in that transition. The Raiders have missed a few bunnies on the inside. That's, I think, the difference in this game so far and why Loramie has a 28-23 lead on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Borchers tried to get it in the corner to Gubo, and Albers picks it off. Left side to Mesher. Mesher shot up, no good. Rebound by Sherman. And it's going to be a foul on Loramie, and we're going to go the other way.
Could have very easily been an over-the-back on Sherman there. Again, goes back to those little simple things. You box out, that's not going towards the white, it's going towards the black.
But if it's called tight, that's more in favor of Loramie's advantage with the depth with the Raiders now shaved down to playing about 7 players.
Right.
So the Raiders certainly don't want to get into a foul contest with the Redskins, as they don't have as much depth as they've had due to the injuries that they've suffered. Late delay trap there from Loramie. Gubo on the baseline. It's tipped in backcourt. Borchers will go get it. Let's see if Loramie tries to trap here again. Trap the wings. They give it out to Shappy.
The Raiders are not being able to get deep into that.
Poling trying to go up. Cannot finish. The Raiders cannot finish around the rim here tonight. Surprised she didn't kick it out to Borchers there.
Right. You finish, this is a different ball game.
Rose, nice shot fake on the inside. Throws up a wild shot. Ball pinballs around and falls in the hands of Poling before we have a scrum on the floor. Arrow favors the Redskins.
That possession was a little wild.
4.5 minutes to go
where
here.
The ball was going there.
Yeah. 4.5 minutes to go here. A box set shown by the Redskins. They go in the corner to Summer Hoying. Goes back out over to Ava Turner. They run a shot in the corner for Carissa Meyer. And Borchers fouled on the rebound.
That's just a simple out-of-bounds play. That's one of the oldest ones in the book. And they just execute with an open shot.
And Carlos Siegel getting right in the official's ear. And it's been a physical game, both sides. And not really saying getting the official ears, but wise words of wisdom. Good coaches like Carlos Siegel know how to talk to an official.
Absolutely.
And trust me, as an official, as a coach, I believe that stuff holds true, that good coaches can influence
You're
officiating.
Absolutely right.
Addison Shappy with the ball, gives it up over to CC Borchers.
Some of them have earned it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's respect.
Exactly. And we know Carlos Siegel deserves a ton of respect. As Gubo with the basketball gives it inside to Sherman. Sherman trying to back down. Held her pivot foot. Goes up. Shots no good. Nice defense by Summer Hoying. Carlos Siegel saying, hey, slow it down here. As Jaden Rose going to bring it across the timeline. Ava Turner gets it on the inside. Shot up, no good. Rebound down to Reese Gubo.
That was a nice cut by Ava Turner. A little back door.
Shappy up ahead, gives it out to Gubo. Gubo gives a shot fake back to Shappy. She's on the two-point line and cannot fall. The Raiders have struggled shooting from outside the arc. Turner up ahead. Turner to the basket. Shot no good. Cleaned up on the weak side by Summer Horn. We got a timeout by Coach Paul Bremichin. It is a full timeout. All timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. Our score, Fort Loramie 30, Arushi 23. We'll be back here next on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, 3:09 to go here in the third quarter. The Fort Loramie Redskins have a 30-23 lead on the Rushi Raiders. You kind of feel the momentum starting to shift Loramie's way here a bit, and the Raiders have that 7-point deficit they're trying to make up here, and Coach Bremichin trying to talk to his girls during that timeout.
Right, we saw it. If the Raiders could just finish around the basket, and the Redskins as well. Nobody's finishing really well. Ronnie Poling did right there with a 2-point shot, but around the basket needs to be crisper. You can't have second and third opportunities. You need to score on the first time when you're 2 feet away.
Pulling with that basket shaves the Redskin lead to 5 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Brandon Cover and Tanya Hammonds bringing in the action here, the last home game of the year. We're glad you could join us for all home games this year on NKTelco Sports from the Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium. It's been fun to do all these games here this year at home at the Claire C. The second to last year, varsity games will be hosted in this gym.
Yay!
And
it's exciting.
Be a new project coming up here with some more seating as Borchers picks off the pass. Borchers trying to go up ahead, trying to step around Rose, tried to initiate some contact. They'll stay Raider basketball.
I'm surprised that's a Raider ball. I thought that would have been a Redskin ball right there.
It was great straight-up defense by Rose.
Yes.
And Borchers tried to Euro step and try to avoid the foul, which I don't blame her doing that either.
She did exactly what she should have done. Just trying to score.
Try to run a back screen for Poling. Get her in the lane. Poling finishes at the basket.
She can be the game changer. She can get the ball and finish. She's the game changer. Sherman's going to do what she's going to do. Poling's the changer.
Poling probably got away with some contact there. I think Poling got away with some contact on the inside against Hoying there initially before what the Raider fans wanted was a walk. Meyer stops in the corner, gives it back to Alberts, foul line extended, gets a nice tip of the rim there, and it falls in for Skylar Alberts, who's got 14. Redskins grow the lead back out to 5. 32-27, 1:18 to go here in the third quarter. They run Borchers baseline to baseline. They rotate it into Dosek, and Summer Hoying gets her hand in there and picks it off. Gubo going to steal it right ahead, though, for the Raiders. Gubo going to try to go to the basket, go right around Meyer, and banks it in. Reese
Nice
Gubo.
move by Reese Gubo.
She's got 7. As we're under a minute to go here in the third. Rose up ahead. Rose trying to shield the Raiders away. They get it into Turner, and she turns it right back over to the Raiders. 48.8 seconds to go, a 3-point Loramie lead, Raider possession.
Sometimes when you press the issue and it's not a wide open, that's what you tend to see. That's why you have a high turnover during some games when you're trying to make something happen, it's not there, which that's what had tried to happen there with the Redskins. Trying to make that pass that was not open.
Shappy with the basketball, trying to run a flare screen for Gubo. Get on the inside to Poling. Poling backing down against Hoying. They like that matchup, and they go to it again.
In the book of basketball, is that called a flare screen? Is that just a Paul Bremergen flare
I just
screen?
call it a flare screen. Traditionally called a flare screen.
Everybody knows flare.
The Raiders get another turnover.
She looked like she just handed it to her.
There's a foul on the Redskins in the backcourt. That's going to be the 5th team foul against Fort Loramie, and Alex Rose immediately off the bench.
You can see frustration in the guards for the Redskins right now. Carter Siegel needs to get them, she's got 12 seconds to then get them under control.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the Raiders are making a run right here. Here's a momentum change that we talked about earlier.
10 seconds to go here. It's a 1-point Loramie lead, Raider basketball. 8 seconds to go. Borchers trying to get to the basket. Cuts through the defense, throws a shot up, no good. Rebound tips around, and they called a jump ball, and that might honestly be worse for the Raiders because it's their possession with 9/10 of a second to go. They're going to enter Sherman in quickly for Dosek. It's a tough break for the Raiders, really, when you think about it, if they can't convert here.
Maybe they'll pick up a foul here.
They get a jump in for Sherman, a tip at the horn, it's no good.
Thought that was going to be good, Brandon.
And we head to the fourth quarter, 32-31. Fort Loramie ahead of Russia. We'll step aside, come back to the fourth quarter of action. You're next on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
32-31 Fort Loramie, beginning of the fourth quarter here on NKTelco Sports. And buckle up, Tanya. This is going to be a fun 8-minute ride that we're going to go on here.
I need another drink of Diet Mountain Dew to keep me going in this one. This is just a fun ball game, which we knew it would be. That's why all the press is here.
And Carissa Meyer nails the jump shot to start off this fourth quarter ride. Sherman on the inside. Sherman loses the basketball in the fourth quarter, starts off good for the Redskins. They get a score and a turnover within 20 seconds. Victoria Mesher up ahead to Brandaway. Now this Jim fell dead silent for a second. Mesher gives it back up over to Brandaway, back over in the corner to Meyer. No Shelby County League title on the line tonight. Redskins have wrapped that up for the 6th straight year, and there's a foul against CC Borcher. She wrapped around the back side there, and that'll be the 3rd foul on her. Redskins will have the basketball right out under their own basket. As Skylar Albers comes in for the Redskins, Addison Shappy in for the Raiders.
Got some mismatches here. They're trying to figure things out.
They get the ball into Skylar Albers, who had 10 points in that first quarter. Really helped jolted the Redskins to a good start.
So you're seeing the matchup of Poling and Mesher. That's up top.
Redskins throw that into the crowd. Maybe Redskins going to struggle a little bit in the half court a bit here lately.
I'm really surprised they don't play a little bit more full court because they rage havoc on you and they make you do things you don't want to do. And
Sherman
maybe they think the Raiders can run and they're not going to get it. They're going to get too many open opportunities.
Poling on the inside, almost walked. Gives it out over to Gubo. They're just going to be patient here. They get it out to Shappy on the right side. Back out to Poling. They're trying to get it over to Sherman on the high-low action. You give it back out to Gubo, right side to Shappy.
This is where they need to get it is here. With Kate Sherman to Poling.
And they've made the adjustment on pulling. They got Avery Brandaway trying to front her.
She had her sealed.
Yeah. Raiders really patient, letting the clock drain here a bit. Pulling. They get it onto Gubo on that flare screen. They run it over to Shappy. Jayla Shappy. Gonna go back to the left side to Gubo. Gubo in the lane. Jump shot up and in. Reese Gubo, you said, has been the most consistent Raider player all year.
Absolutely. When they run that elevator play, there's got to be an option of a post dropping because it looks like the play just dies. And when you have maybe Jayla Shappy's in there for defense, and when you have her as the option, as your go-to, we got to have a forward option as well.
Mesher with the basketball. 1 point lead for Loramie. And Sherman trying to take a charge there. Nice sell there by Sherman with the, I can hear it through our headphones.
I thought that went off Alber's foot, but apparently not.
Substitution, CC Borchers back in. And again, like we said, this is just a tournament prep with no league title on the line.
I mean, if you look at the board, the Raiders got Gubo with 9, Sherman with 8, Pulling with 9, but Borchers with 2. So we've got consistency there. If they can get a little bit, just maybe 6 out of Borchers, that could be the difference as well.
Borchers in the running for that League Player of the Year. Raiders haven't had a League Player of the Year since 2017, since it was Maria Herron.
I can't tell you in our league one specific Player of the Year.
It's going to be an interesting vote that'll come out here soon. As Rose gets up ahead, Turner high arcing shot, got it. Ava Turner hits a shot, and Coach Carla Siegel wants a timeout. All timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. We like to thank them as they've been our sponsor all year on NKTelco Sports. With all our timeouts, we'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of boys high school basketball, or girls high school basketball, excuse me, on NKTelco Channel 3 and HD on Channel 503. Catch the replays of this game Thursday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. and Sunday, February 26th at 7 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securcom, and St. Henry Bank. Coming out of the Precision Strip timeout, 5:05 to go, and you get a basket and you call a timeout. Is Loramie, you think, going to set up some sort of pressure here?
That would be my guess. They're coming out a little bit further here, going to a man defense versus their 1-2-2 that they've been playing for a while, which the Raiders are opening things up, and that gives them a lot of options, like right there. Unfortunately, Borchers was blocked, but that gives them a lot of options, and we can see a lot of scoring when they can open things up like that. They can get the basket a little bit easier. So I'm a little surprised that Siegel's going to this.
I like that design there by the Raiders too, but Brandaway made a nice play.
Absolutely.
On the baseline.
Point needs to get off the block, spread things out, and let everybody get to the hole.
Shappy getting a little pressure. They're going to call an intentional foul against Shappy.
Against Shappy.
For an elbow.
I don't agree with that 100%. She has her space. She has the right to that space. And if she goes at her with an elbow, that's one thing. But in my opinion, that did not look like that.
Albers will shoot 2 at the line. 3-point Redskin lead. Albers trying to extend it here. High arcing free throw is missed. Redskins will get the basketball after that. Albers at the line, cannot connect on either or.
That might fire this Raider crowd up even more than they were.
It'll be Redskin basketball. They'll take it out right in front of that Raider crowd.
Oh, boy.
4:36 to go here in the fourth quarter.
A lot of chirping going on right now, Brandon.
A lot
of
chirping.
A little chirpy.
Rose with the basketball. Raiders going to double team right at half court. Brandaway gets right around Sherman. They're going to call Sherman for the block. And it's going to be the 5th Raider team foul.
That's the first on her, which is very uncharacteristic.
Yeah. You're very right. You're calling all these home games this year, you do see those tendencies, and I know you've been at every game. You see those
Reese Gubo tends to be the first foul, and Kate Sherman and Ronnie Pulling have one before the quarter ends.
Sherman up ahead,
Huge
lays
basket.
it in. Kate Sherman in double figures now. 36-35. Fort Loramie ahead of Russia on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Albers with the basketball. Fell back, almost lost the basketball. Even Raiders superfan Henry Cardonier's getting into it. Man, it is an intense game here. Brandaway on the inside converts. Gives him a basket there to give him a three-point edge.
The crowd, should they back off just a hair and not scream at an official, just wants what's best for these kids. They want, they see these kids working hard, and they're gonna fight for every call, and that's what Coach Bremagen does. Unfortunately, sometimes people pick up technicals, but you're gonna battle for your kids just as much as they battle for you on the court.
Shot by Brandaway does not fall. And that shot right there has been the difference tonight. I think that's given Fort Loramie the advantages again, like you talked about, finishing around the basket.
Yes.
And
there's plenty of timeouts left, so to give your kids a break, they don't need to be subbing that much. They can call timeouts and give them a break.
Borchers try to get the basketball on the inside to Pulling. Pulling shot up and no good. Tips off the iron. Mesher and Pulling are battling for it. They got a foul on Pulling. Was trying to wrap around there. I think that was right foul.
Yeah.
She's trying to reach around there.
You call it early, it's a jump ball. You let it go, it's a foul.
Yeah.
Which happens so many times.
And that's a good foul there.
Yeah.
On Pulling, I believe there. That's the last Raider foul that they can give. And
well, you want to be able to start fouling if you need to at a point. You don't want to be stuck at 2 fouls, 2 and 3 fouls. You're going to see the Redskins run their offense and execute even more than we have this whole game. A 3-point lead with less than 3 minutes to go, that's what we're going to see.
Hoang gets the ball tipped. It'll stay Redskin basketball. And 2:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, Brandon Coverman, Tanya Hammonds bringing you this game here. Senior night for the Lady Raiders. There are 8 Raiders seniors. Redskins get it in over to Rose. Raiders going to run a little delayed pressure here. They get it out over to Hoang. They get it back in the corner to Turner. Turner goes back over to Jaden Rose. Rose picks up her dribble, looking to get it to someone, gets it over to Ava Turner. Turner driving on baseline, and she walked. And the Raiders will bring it up ahead here. Skylar Alberts, Addison Shappy comes in. I'm kind of waiting to see Addison Shappy maybe get open and fire something up. You know that
a nice
that
little shot from the corner would be fantastic. And you're seeing the ball go to the corner an awful lot tonight, which is not a high percentage shot, but that's what we're seeing with the trapping, and that's kind of the that's kind of the outlet that we're seeing from both teams is going to the corner.
Coach Carlos Siegel giving out instructions to her defense. See if the Redskins decide to trap here. Delayed trap, maybe trap the wing. Raiders get it over to Borchers. Borchers been held to 2 points tonight. They get it to Sherman on the inside. The shot fell out, but she'll shoot 2.
Great execution.
Man,
waited on the screen, ran it, nice pass.
If that would have fell in, I think the roof would have blown off this gym.
I might have screamed. So I apologize to any Redskin fans, but that was pretty exciting.
Sherman's fall well short, hits the front of the iron, falls down for Kate Sherman as Jayla Shappy, Victoria Mesher return to the lineup for their respective teams.
This is where your legs come into play. You need to use your legs. Sherman's played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, and you're tired.
Just perfect.
And you're tired, and Sherman splits the pair from the line. She's got 11, a Raider team high. Albers with the game high honors with 14 from Fort Loramie. Mesher straddling that sideline, loses that basketball. It tipped out last off Borchers. 38-36 Fort Loramie, 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Hoang will inbound it. Gets it back to Mesher. The Raiders are going to double immediately. And did she say she didn't reestablish herself right away? Because when you inbound, you can't run off run in that baseline. So that's what must have happened. Kind of just like football.
Just like football. So. Reestablish your position on the floor, and Summer Hoang missed that.
It's a turnover. 2:05 to go, fourth quarter.
But I think, right now the Redskins have the lineup they want in to finish this game.
It's going to be Loramie basketball there. The Raiders turn it over. The length of the Redskins disrupt that pass right there, and Raiders are going to decide to pick up full court, which is interesting here as well.
Sherman was open, but it was too late to pass her the ball, and so then gave the Redskins time to deflect the ball.
Mesher loses the basketball. Borchers for the lead, shot off the iron. Shappy with the weak side rebound. Back out over to Borchers. Borchers off the iron. Shot's no good. Sherman's going to be called for a foul.
Right.
The Redskins are going to shoot free throws on the other end.
Good call.
Boy, and that's what has plagued the Raiders here tonight is those shots around the basket.
Not good call, right call.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
But
yes, you're right.
It rears its ugly head right there for the Raiders as Carissa Meyer.
It makes you look bad. When you don't shoot well, you look bad. They haven't shot well from the perimeter. They haven't been able to get to the basket. They've been fortunate to be able to get in some rebounds and score, and Poling finished a few times around the basket to keep them in this game.
Shot is missed. Sherman clears the boards. Goes back out over to CeCe Borchers. Borchers navigating on the right side, gives out to her cousin Reese Gubo. They're just going to spread things out here. They go over to Borchers. They give her a nice lane to the basket. She stops and scores, and we're knotted up at 1:22 to go. Boy, this has been a great game here on NKTelco Sports.
Great time to connect by CeCe Borchers.
And Mesher fouled out front by Sherman. And a good call there again by the official.
Right. That's her third, and she's only picked up those 3 fouls in this fourth quarter.
And if you're Rushi, in the back of your head, if you're Coach Bremagen, you're not going to overtime at all. You can't afford an overtime.
No.
That if you're down 2 or something, you have the ball the last minute, you got to play the win.
And you know what? I'm not so sure. I mean, Mesher's a good foul shooter. Unfortunately, she missed that one. I'd almost rather do that and get the ball back in my possession because Fort Loramie's so good at executing and running their offense, they're going to waste a lot of time.
Gubo with the basketball.
I don't believe the Raiders have the patience that the Redskins have when executing and running their offense.
I think if you don't score here and they call a late foul on Jaden Rose, Reese Gubo should have 1-1. But even if the Raiders held that basketball, if you don't score, I believe the Redskins hold for that last shot.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and I don't know if the Raiders have the ball handling capability to withstand that Loramie pressure for that length of time.
I don't know.
And Reese Gubo
we did not see Paul Bremagen 4 quarters, though.
No, we did not.
They just execute, they run their offense until they can score. But he's playing aggressive, trying to let's score now.
Gubo at the line, 1-1, cans it.
She's been stellar.
Raiders have the lead the first time
lead,
in the fourth quarter.
First lead of the game?
No, they led a little bit in the second quarter there for a while. As
really?
Gubo, yes, they did.
Okay.
Gubo has 10. She cans both. She has 11. 40-38, 52 seconds to go. Redskins up ahead quickly. Albers cross-court pass to Mesher to the basket. Shot short.
That's
Sherman
huge.
clears the boards.
Keep it in Reese Gubo's hands right now. Do not give that ball up, Reese.
Redskins trying to apply pressure. Coach Paul Bremagen calls a timeout. We'll keep
Still
it
leaves
here.
Him with 1.
40-30. I was kind of interested he called that. I feel like with 2 you keep 2 in the back of your pocket, and at the first sign of pressure.
Let's get organized. Let's organize everything, get some control, and figure out what we want to do. So if you look to your right or your left of your screen, you see a roller coaster ride.
And this has been a great game. Like I said, no Shelby County League title on the line, but you know what makes this game so fun is the family interactions. You know, you and I are both Rushi grads. I'm a Russia grad that has a ton of family connections from Fort Loramie. So as much as it is a basketball game, it's a family affair too, and these two schools meet together.
And I just love the game of basketball. You know, coaching for 16, 17 years, I miss this part of a game where you're talking about a strategy and you're trying to, you know, I was involved in a game where we were down 12 with a minute 12 to go and won a tournament game.
Who's that against?
Jackson Center, maybe? I can't remember. But it was, you know, it was exciting. The intensity, the hard work, the preparation is amazing.
Shappy with the basketball is fouled out by Ava Turner. Here's where it becomes important. You got a sophomore on the line talking to her seniors right there, trying to get her a little energy here. And
right. She had a big shot.
Against Tri-Village.
Yep.
Yep.
That maybe gave her the confidence she needed to continue with her varsity career.
1-and-1 free throws for Shappy. At the line, dips the knees, hits the first one. That, so to speak, extends the floor. Makes you have to play out from beyond the perimeter.
Yes.
And Coach Carlos Siegel wants a timeout. All timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. When he talked to this Raiders team, and a couple weeks ago, when this team lost Maya Monin for the season, they lost Simone Putoff, they lost Grace Holscher, they lost all these people. And to say you're up 3 on your arch rival, and that game's not over yet, obviously, and the game has a long way to go, but
you're
to be in
doom
this position,
and gloom.
yeah.
They went through a gloomy situation. There's a lot hanging over their head of, there was a big expectation of what they were going to do this year. You know, they're going to be in the finals, the regional finals, meeting up against Tri-Village. And I think these kids, you know, they've been told for so long that they're this good, and they are that good. But then you get some doom and gloom, and it just kind of makes you go through the motions. This game re-energizes you and makes you want to come out and compete and keep moving and wear that uniform just a little bit longer. Because when you take it off the last time, like you know, it's not a good feeling. And it hangs with you for a long time.
Only one team can lift that gold trophy at the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Addison Shappy, big free throw, 26.3 seconds left, 41-38 Raiders. Shappy, high arcing shot off the iron. Albers with the rebound. Turner up ahead. Let's see the Redskins go for 2. They go up to 1 to Brandaway, and she puts it in. And Carla Siegel calls a timeout. Avery Brandaway lays it in. It's 41-40. The Raiders ahead of the Redskins. So now your philosophy changes off that miss. Now you got to go down and hit another free throw here if you're the Raiders.
Right.
Or you got to get it in clean too.
You got to get your best passer, and you got to look to go deep even. And you want to look at getting the ball in. I feel like in Reese Gubo's hands, misconsistency is how I feel she's been this year. And she can take the pressure. Let's look to go deep, too, because you know Loramie's going to need to get a steal. They're going to look for the steal first, then for a foul. So if you can go deep, deep. What softball players we got in here? Well, Reese is the center fielder, so but we want her to get the ball. So, you know, Cece's an outfielder as well. So, you know, maybe getting the ball in their hands and going deep. You know, Sherman could put it away, too, though. I mean, I think they got the right person taking the ball out of bounds.
41-40. The situation here with 19.3 seconds left. Each team with a timeout apiece. Each team will shoot the 1 in bonus the next time they're fouled. Redskins going to pick up full court at the 19.3 seconds left here.
Gubo going to go deep. Nope.
Trying to hold on to a lead. Nope. They get it into Gubo quickly and immediately fouled by Ava Turner. Turner will pick up the foul, and Reese Gubo to the line. The senior, been a 3-year player for this team. And you talk about
nobody
a coach
works
on the
harder
court.
than this kid does.
Yeah.
When I take a walk and I see her outside shooting free throws or shooting bunnies or swinging a bat, she puts the extra work in, and not necessarily on an AAU team.
And there's a lane violation on the Raiders. That's going to go against Ronnie Poling, and that's going to take that free throw away, and the Redskins are going to be able to try to win this game here. Rose with the basketball. Might have got away with a walk in the backcourt. And Coach Carla Siegel going to take that timeout. We'll keep it here. How quick do you go if you're the Redskins?
You go now. I mean, if you give the Raiders time to score, I mean, you got to put up a score. What if you don't make it? You get a chance to rebound. I think you got to go now. It's not running a full play where you're maybe taking 7-8 seconds off the clock, because you got to give yourself a second chance, in my opinion. She may say, let's wait and go for the last second shot. But in my opinion, I think you got to go now. What do you think?
Yeah, and you have to go now, because if you miss, you have to foul right away.
Sure.
And at worst things, worse for Loramie, if Rushi comes down and can hit 2 free throws, make it a 3-point game, you still have 4 seconds to get something up the court. So, yes, you have to go now, and I think that's what Carla Siegel is going to talk about. The Raiders have a timeout in their back pocket, so you got to assume if Loramie would happen to score here, that the Raiders would take the timeout. But, man, been a great ball game. We've done 2 games this year, and both of them have been great down to the wire games. So maybe we should just do every game
We
together.
should do that. So I love doing this. It's a lot of fun. I hope our viewers love it. If you have any suggestions, what you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll talk about whatever you want.
12.8 seconds. Rushi ahead by 1. Loramie basketball right in front of the Loramie bench. Meyer gets it into Avery Brandaway. Brandaway trying to go to the basket. Loses the basketball, but calls a foul against Sherman. She dribbled the basketball off her foot.
I think that's a no call in that scenario. I don't think there was much contact. Not much contact. She dribbled the ball off her foot. And then you call a foul.
Brandaway.
Well, he's closer than I am to it, so maybe it was.
1 in bonus. Can tie this game with a made free throw. Shot, no good. Raiders corral the rebound. And Borchers is fouled. And, you know, that's the thing, the difference between girls and guys is Brandaway knew she had a foul there, extended the arm out, and she goes up to Borchers, class act, and says, I'm sorry.
Right.
That's the difference between boys and girls basketball.
I'm sorry.
Right
I'll
there.
talk to you after the game. I'll Snapchat you. Yeah.
CeCe Borchers at the line here trying to help expand this Raider lead.
But there is a lot of respect between these two teams. You know, not only do they compete against they compete in every sport against each other.
Borchers cans the first one, gives the Raiders a 2-point lead, looking to kind of extend the floor here, so to speak, with a made shot. Coach Bremichin going to take his last time out, probably to set up his defense here. If you're Loramie, off a miss, let's say, you go to the basket quickly and try to win this ball game,
Don't do anything different than you've already been doing. Go to the basket. I don't know that they've been consistent from behind the line. You know, Skylar Albers has done a good job hitting some shots. But let's go to overtime. I think you roll the dice if I'm Fort Loramie to go to overtime. Let's tie.
Yeah.
And they can get to the basket.
Yeah, it's true. So, and that's off a miss, too. And you got to turn around and go. You don't have any timeouts.
No.
So off a make, you got to go.
You're going to waste 1 second just rebounding and going. And finding so then you're going to rebound. You're going to find somebody to throw it to. So now you're a second and a half and trying to get the ball up the floor with not a predominant point guard.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Raiders, I'm not putting pressure up here. I'm staying back here, guarding the perimeter. I'm guarding probably the middle because they're going to go to the middle. That's my guess. Might be wrong. But we have Albers back here at half court looking for a pass.
The Raiders got to keep track of her. 6.5 seconds. Rushi with a 2-point lead. Borchers with 1 free throw. Borchers shot up and good. Now the Raiders could foul here too. In backcourt if they want to. Mesher with the basketball. Meshers got to get it up ahead quickly. Meshers got to find a teammate. Turner at the horn for overtime, off the mark. And the Raiders upset the Redskins 43-40. The Rushi Raiders defeat the Fort Loramie Redskins here tonight and hand them their first Shelby County Athletic League loss of the season.
There's a lot of smiles in blue tonight.
And a great game here tonight. The Rushi Raiders won't get a share of the Shelby County League title. They split with the Redskins, split with the Jackson Center Tigers. The Redskins still going to take the win here tonight. And let's thank our sponsors here. because without them, we would not be able to bring you wonderful high school basketball here on NKTelco Sports. Our sponsors tonight are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, The Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, scoreboard sponsor First National Bank, timeout sponsor Precision Strip, and our Russia Live View sponsors, The Jewelry Barn. Our player of the game is NKTelco. Our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Gilsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and the St. Henry Bank. I'd also like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of girls high school basketball here on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Catch the replays of this game Thursday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. and Sunday, February 26th at 7 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And classic game here tonight. Raiders get their first win in 5 years over the Fort Loramie Redskins. Actually, the last time the Raiders defeated the Redskins was on their senior night in 2018. I kind of remember that because I was a part of that 2018 graduating class.
Right.
But the first win for the Raiders in 5 years over the Redskins, and it was a great one here tonight.
I'm so happy for those seniors and that Raider team. Like we said, there's some doom and gloom with injuries, and this just gives you a spark to go to the tournament play. They have 9 days off until their next game. They'll play on February the 11th at 4 o'clock versus Triad over at Sydney High School. And that boys game that evening will then start at 6:30. They're extending, starting that game a little late due to the girls' game. So it just gives them that, like I said, it gives them that spark to go in the tournament play. And I couldn't be happier for Coach Bremagen and this Raider basketball team.
And you look on the Loramie side of things, you still win the league title outright.
Right.
They're 6 consecutive.
Right.
But I think, you never like to lose to your rival, obviously.
The Raiders needed this game more than the Redskins did, in my opinion.
And it revitalizes, I think, Loramie because their goals never change. Their goals win a state championship.
Sure.
This revitalizes your goals and says, hey, we can be beat. We're human.
Right.
Which
sometimes
happens.
Those help you more than they hurt you.
Yeah.
And they'll get reorganized for now their game. They play Liberty Benton on Saturday.
Yeah, Liberty Benton and Marion local Tuesday.
And then finish with Marion. Those aren't an easy task. So they're probably going to learn something from this and come out on Saturday and take care of business. So they're both going to – I hope they both have great runs and they meet up in the regional semifinals down at Vandalia. That would be fantastic for girls basketball in the Shelby County League.
Before we head out here tonight, we'd like to name our NKTelco player of the game. And Tanya, I'm going to give it to you.
You're going to give it to me. I'm going to do a co-player of the game because I think the Raiders can't win without either of these players, and they kind of proved that tonight is Reese Gubo, who, like I called, Miss Consistency. And then Kate Sherman, she just gets after it, and she puts a fire into the players and into the crowd. She gets after it and gets everybody fired up. So the NKTelco player of the games are Reese Gubo and Kate Sherman for me.
And that'll do it for us here tonight. The Russia Raiders will finish the regular season 18-4, and they'll head into tournament play next Saturday against the Triad Cardinals, a game you can catch here on NKTelco Sports. And the Fort Loramie Redskins will be back in action as they drop to 18-2. We'll be back in action Saturday against Liberty Benton, the Liberty Benton Eagles on the road. So for Tanya Hammonds, I'm Brandon Coburn for the final time here tonight from the Claire Cenovo Gymnasium. The Russia Raiders defeat the Fort Loramie Redskins 43-40. We'll come back here next time, and we'll see you next time on NKTelco Sports.